There we go. Here we go. We're going to be jumping into our fresh series and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the red Protoss player, from the land of the Netherlands. It is HiGhDrA. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Italian Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is LetaleX. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim this series. Best of luck here, as this is going to be a closer one, I feel. As the skill level between these two players is quite, they're both quite close in skill. The gap is smaller. I will say that HiGhDrA, he was more of an up-and-coming player a couple of years ago. Like, I'm thinking of the COVID era of StarCraft. That's when HiGhDrA was on Team Roddy, for example, when he was actually, you know, playing in almost everything and improving quite heavily as well. Nowadays, HiGhDrA is more of a part-time player. I know that he's been focusing a lot on his studies. And a lot on his academics, if you will. And of course, as a result, has been playing and competing in less events. Meanwhile, as HiGhDrA's been kind of dying down when it comes to his momentum, LetaleX has been rising. LetaleX has been more recently grinding and on the rise. I think of both LetaleX and Azura, as they've both been improving quite a lot in recent months. I'll still say, like, he's still like rising through the ranks. Like, I would say he's still behind players like Shameless or UD Soldier, but just barely though. Like, he's been improving a lot. LetaleX has been around for a long time, been around for many years, but his improvement has been more recent. His rate of improvement. And here we go. Here we go. We do see HiGhDrA going for a fake proxy pylon here on the right hand side. Meanwhile, we have a standard pylon location for LetaleX. It looks like a standard opener so far. It looks like both players wish to expand. Typically, PvPs are a little more aggressive, but amongst the European Protoss players, we often do see a little more mid-game and a little more macro play compared to the Koreans. Oh, as we actually do make use of the proxy, though. It's not going to be a fake out, it is proxy Stargate. Now, this is not an all-in or anything like that. This is still an economic build, but the goal here is economic damage across the map, right? The goal here is proxy Stargate into Oracle into economic damage, and to make up for the fact that HiGhDrA's base is going to be delayed, right? It's a late natural compared to LetaleX. So HiGhDrA is looking for economic damage to give him a lead. Probe Scout does confirm the Nexus. Does confirm the base. I will say I'm older than Fiance and GG Machine combined. Oh, so you're in your 20s. You're... Ay. Kappa. To be fair, I don't know how old Fiance is off the top of my head. Is he like... Is he 20 yet? Or is he 19? In my mind, he's still a teenager, but I could be wrong. They're both Zoomers, back. Kids. Oh. So now the Stalkers, they do distract. The Oracle is on the way. As I mentioned before, the goal here is for economic damage, and so far there's nothing in the main. There's no battery. And no battery in the main. Oracle does move in. There's a Stalker and a Sentry in position, and we'll see if LetaleX can hold. So far, it's in the mineral line. Behind this, we're going for Blink. Again, HiGhDrA's tech is going to be delayed because of the Stargate, because of the Oracles. And it looks like we're waiting for the second Oracle. Okay, so the way this works here, the way this maths out, 2 Oracles, 1 short probes. Which means if there was a battery, there is no battery, but if there was a battery in the main base, the battery would typically out-heal the damage output of 1 Oracle, but it cannot out-heal 2. Now we move in. LetaleX in position, gets 1 volley off, and we'll hunt down one of the Oracles. Massive pick off here. 1 Oracle does go down. Despite that, it's going to be 5 probes. 5 probes is okay, but remember, there is that earlier blink timing available for LetaleX, and LetaleX, he still has an even, if not greater, probe count. Not good enough. Yeah, this damage was not good enough. Especially upon losing one of the Oracles. At least it's a 1 Oracle. Oh, he gets caught out. Yeah, HiGhDrA losing 1 Stalker. A bit of a waste of force fields here, as only 1 Stalker goes down. The other does barely get away. So messy engage there from LetaleX, but he's going for the counterattack. And remember, there's a window in time where LetaleX has Blink and HiGhDrA does not. As that's another 2 probe kills. That's 7 kills in total. Not bad. LetaleX is pushing. Back at home, there's one battery only now on the way. And can LetaleX hit in time? It's going to be close. It's going to be close. As LetaleX is pushing forward. Nice force field. Gets one, gets two. Oh my god, the force fields. Catching out two stalkers. The battery does finish, but too little too late. Now there's only 2 sentries left, and LetaleX is snowballing out of control. He's busting on through. The boys are being pulled. Desperation out of HiGhDrA. GG gets called. He cannot defend, and LetaleX, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. LetaleX, he will claim the game. Again, winding it back, HiGhDrA, he was quite committed with the proxy Stargate. It did not do enough damage to give him the lead he wanted. Not just that, but ideally the Oracles stay alive, and if they both survived, then LetaleX is forced to keep supply back at home. He's forced to keep Stalkers back at home to defend, with 2 Oracles threatening the bases, but 1 Oracle went down immediately, so LetaleX, he was unchained. He was unchained, he was unbound, he could move out across the map, he would push, and he was able to break HiGhDrA. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, LetaleX takes the lead in the series. Now we're going to be loading into Tokamak for game number 2. I was expecting a longer game, but no. We ended early, papi. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Italian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is LetaleX. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands. Down in the series, can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is HiGhDrA. Here we go. As we're settling into game number 2, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is an older map in the map pool. Bearing in mind that this tournament does feature an extended map pool, and Tokamak is from the previous season, if not 2 seasons at this point. It's been a while. Has been a while. But it's a much larger map, much more defensive as well. Tokamak was renowned for a lot of late game. Back in its prime. But PvP is its own different beast, of course. So we'll see how we open up. Defines in chat. Wikipedia says 19. Oh, he's still a teenager. There you go. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if he was still a teenager. Estefiant. So far, 2 gate opener out of HiGhDrA, 2 gate opener out of LetaleX. Eyes are on our initial workers as they do scout each other. Oh, there was that boop. They do scout each other. Looks like we are setting up for a proxy. HiGhDrA, he does veer off here towards the left-hand side. Shows the pylon. And there's a prime location for a proxy Robo. There it is. Pylon gets thrown down. 1 base all in at a HiGhDrA. Last game he went proxy Stargate. This time proxy Robo is what we're expecting. And LetaleX, he scouts at LetaleX. He does see that a pylon is missing, but remember, last game was a fake proxy pylon, or technically it was on HiGhDRA's side of the map. Oh, LetaleX, he rallies. Yeah, you can see him rallying here on the left-hand side, but he will miss the proxy so far based on that rally. Yeah, he will miss it. Behind this, ooh, goes for the Nexus blindly here. So 2 gate opener into an expand. This is ideal for HiGhDRA. It's ideal. As LetaleX is being greedy, he's trying to call HiGhDRA's bluff, and the hallucination will confirm the pylon. Yeah, it does confirm the pylon. At least that confirms aggression. Now LetaleX is aware, but is it too late? He should have a reactive Robo, but it's going to be a Robo after the Nexus. HiGhDRA, he's rallying. Robo is almost done. 3rd gateway's on the way, battery on the low ground. It's going to be a tough hold. It's going to be a very tough hold here. Stalkers, they poke in, they nibble away at the initial battery. Nibble away. We don't even need this. Sure. Going for the Bay behind this. So usually you get the Bay if your opponent has their own defensive Robo and their own defensive Immortal production, but there is no Robo. It's a late scout, late reaction. This is going to be for disruptors. But a very early transition here from HiGhDrA, when typically this is a later transition when you believe that the all-in is failing. So interesting choice out of our blue Protoss. Very interesting. I should also pick up the ramp. Oh. Okay, and so far LetaleX is holding the line. So far he is holding on. Second Immortal's on the way. The Bay is done, but the Immortal is delaying the Disruptor. So again, the Bay was just a little bit too early here. Wasn't lined up. Oh, HiGhDrA supply blocks. Oh god, that's gonna delay the Disruptor even further, actually. Oof. Yeah, so a messy execution here from HiGhDrA. This will give LetaleX more time. LetaleX going into Mass Sentry. Jesus. Going Mass Sentry into Stargate into Phoenixes. Can he get there? Disruptor's coming. And for now, collapsing on the Sentry. Barely doesn't bring him down. The battery. Jeez, there's 4 batteries behind this. So far, he's holding on. Yeah, LetaleX is holding the line. Behind this Disruptor has arrived. Show us the Nova. Show us the Nova, Pappy. Meanwhile, big shout out to Scorpling in the chat. God, there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great, I'm assuming, ladder session. Whether you were playing League of Legends or StarCraft. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a good time. Oh, as Sentries, they look down more of these units here. Immortal's going to be zoned away. But the Sentries are going down. Yeah, down to 4. Down to 3. Down to 3 Sentries. Ooh, Brutal Canal. He goes back into the Nova. 2 more Sentries go down to 1. 1 Sentry left. And we're building up to a second Disruptor. 2 Disruptors, 2 Novas. Ooh, nice lift. Cancels one of the Novas. But the other gets saved. Yeah, the other is saved. Another Nova goes off. Does not connect. Nice focus firing there at LetaleX, but he's down to 2 Stalkers. He does not have an army. He cannot hold on. Immortals, they break on through. There's 3 Stalkers left. Once again, we have a nice lift. Barely takes out the Immortal, just barely. There's 1 Immortal left. Nice target firing. Yeah, no, once again, nice target firing, nice lift. Again, the control has been insane from LetaleX, but he just doesn't have the numbers. Doesn't have the numbers, doesn't have the supply. The army just is not there. The lifts were crazy, the focus firing as well. I mean, still has the batteries though, true. Still holding on. Behind this, warping in 3 units at a time. Still has that 1 Disruptor. And this time there are no force fields, right? We saw, what, 6 Sentries going down earlier. Massive connection on the batteries. LetaleX, he needs more warp-ins. Gets a Stalker. Gets 1. Finally picks up one of the pieces as well. But there are just so many reinforcements. Nova is denied. Nice lift here out of LetaleX. But he's losing his Phoenixes. 1 left. One alas. Oh my god. The juggling. As HiGhDrA cuts back, he juggles very nicely here, preserving his army. 1 Stalker goes down. Avoids the rest of the shots. Yeah, he avoids the rest, and from 3 we're down to 1 Phoenix. And so 1 Phoenix still has a lift, so he can still deny one of the Novas. But the natural is falling. In the end, HiGhDrA, he breaks on through, takes down all the batteries. And again, I'm very impressed with LetaleX's control, but the initial build, it didn't help, right? If you recall, for those who weren't here for the start of the game, LetaleX, he did go for an earlier Nexus, went for a greedier build blindly against a proxy, against an all-in. LetaleX took a massive chance, a massive risk. As a result, he had later tech, later Stargate, later Phoenixes. And HiGhDRA's moving in. Depowers the gateway. There's, I believe, 1 gateway left. We could warp in 1 unit at a time. And he's going for it. Oh, Tries to angle his army. Doesn't get the prison. Yeah, Force Wheels that look down the Stalkers. You know, first SC2 GM born after SC2 release, although it probably exists. I'm pretty sure EBA was born after SC2 released. I'm fairly certain. Este EBA. Oh, it would have been close between the two of them. There we go, nice lift on the Disruptor, but the ground army! Yeah, despite the lifts here, the Immortal still breaks through. GG gets called, LetaleX is broken, and HiGhDrA ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that. HiGhDrA decides series up. We're going to the ace match once again, winding it back here. HiGhDrA went for a one-base all-in proxy robo into fast disruptors. Meanwhile, LetaleX, he saw that the pylon was missing. He did not confirm the all-in, and he did choose to go for a 2-gate opener into a fast nexus. So he went for a much greedier build here. So LetaleX, he was down when it came to production, when it came to the army, of course. He did initially have a nice hold with sentries, but over time he bled out units, bled out sentries. He likewise had some delayed core units when it came to the Phoenixes, and eventually was broken. Eventually he was broken. Again, a big risk, a big chance there to go for the faster nexus, and with that we're going to the ace match. We're going to be loading into Winter Madness. Oh boy. Again, the final game of the series, the final game of the broadcast. Bearing in mind, this is the final best of 3 we're covering here tonight. This is the 7th match that we're going to be covering. It all ends here on Winter Madness. Let's go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the red Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands, tying up the series 1-1 and forcing the ace match. It is HiGhDrA. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, himself, the Italian Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is LetaleX. LetaleX. Let's go. Don't have a single 2010 or after birth on S2 the computer yet. We'll get there, Bab. We'll get there. For now, we are going to be opening up. No, what do you mean? We already have one. What do you mean? We have Dark's daughter. Have you not seen the photos on Twitter? Have you? She's crazy, baby. She's crazy. 2 years old. Hi. As for now, it is going to be a 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener at LetaleX, 2-gate opener at HiGhDrA. Standard openers so far, HiGhDrA on these probes. As I sent across the map. So far, every game HiGhDrA has been cheeky in his own way. Game 1, HiGhDrA went for a pseudo proxy Stargate. Game 2, we saw a committed proxy robo. Show us what you got. Likewise, is it LetaleX's turn to proxy, as he hasn't really been too aggressive this series. Second pylon is in the main base for LetaleX, second pylon in the main base for HiGhDrA as well, so no proxy. No shenanigans here. So far, this is the most tame opener we've had so far in the series. Also, welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the larger maps of the map pool. Larger map, longer rush distance by ground. If we were to end up in a standard early to mid game, it would be on Winter Madness. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. So HiGhDrA, he got into the main base. HiGhDrA confirmed the second pylon, but he's still going for the robo. This is very unorthodox. Typically, a robo like this is a reaction to an all-in. To go robo before expanding, despite seeing the pylon, this looks like a one-base all-in. Like, if we throw down a third gateway, we confirm. Oh! Do we throw down a third gateway? Nexus is delayed. It looks like HiGhDrA wants to expand. We'll see if he throws down the gateway or the nexus. LetaleX going for his own standard economic opener, 2-gate into a natural. And looks like HiGhDrA is going to expand. Yeah, he's going to expand. Hallucination confirms the earlier robo. But there should be a nexus. Prison first. Then there it is. Okay, one base all in. I was waiting. I was like, this is actually getting quite late. I was second guessing myself, and yeah, there we go. One base all in here from HiGhDrA. No proxy, but an all in nonetheless. Now, when it comes to LetaleX, he did scout the robo, and he saw no expansion. So this should be ringing alarm bells, and it does. You can see here batteries. Batteries are being thrown down. So a good read here by LetaleX. 2 batteries at the natural, 1 battery in the main base. Robo as well. So this is a defensive reaction here, going for his own immortal production. So far, these are the correct moves from LetaleX. So far, so good. The one downside, of course, is that LetaleX has a faster base, and that can hurt him. But so far, he's doing everything correct. It comes down to the execution, as HiGhDrA's already pushing. And he can drop into the main. We see LetaleX is here to try to zone away the Prism. Oh, Prism takes a hit to the face. Takes 2 volleys. Okay, the Prism is getting low. Oh, he wants it. Yeah, he does. Oh my god, the sentries! Yeah, the flanking sentries as well. Does not get the Prism. 1 sentry does fall. Yeah, cheeky move there from LetaleX. Doesn't quite pay off. Does not get on top of the Prism. Does sustain hull damage. If that Prism goes down, that will end the aggression. And HiGhDrA expands. Ooh, a very late natural base. This tells us that HiGhDrA believes he cannot kill. He cannot all in. The aggression is failing. The Prism! No, the Prism goes down! Massive pickoff! I no high ground vision either, and LetaleX is holding. He has a massive lead, cancels the battery as well. He knows he doesn't need it. He has held, he has defended, and LetaleX, he is miles ahead. HiGhDrA, his base is not even halfway done. LetaleX is freely mining from his natural. He's mining, he's got his own defensive immortals as well. Again, HiGhDRA's in a rough position. LetaleX he's thinking about a counterattack. He's waiting for his War Prism. Prism is on the way. Bearing in mind there are no batteries here for HiGhDrA. He's not set up. Going for a proxy. Blink is on the way. The mix and match of skins here is throwing me off a little bit. Like, we have some Tal'Darim skins for some buildings, not on the others. Este HiGhDrA. Here we go. Does move in. Oh, nice lift, nice save. Those are the only sentries. Sorry, those are the only force fields for HiGhDrA. Is warping in more sentries, more force fields. LetaleX, he rotates over towards the left hand side, gets on top of the ramp, and LetaleX is snowballing out of control. He has a massive lead. A larger army, more reinforcements. He's going for the kill. Force fields, they can buy some time here for HiGhDrA, but he needs them to connect. Oh, nice kiting, nice juggling. Does kite back. Boys are being pulled. 1 Stalker is going to go down. And HiGhDrA, he's trying to barely hold on here, but it's going to cost him the mineral line. Yeah, every probe is falling. And GG gets called. GG gets called. HiGhDrA cannot defend. He is overwhelmed. And LetaleX, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A rough position there for HiGhDrA to commit into the all-in, but again, it was a very shaky all-in. It was a late gateway as well. It looks like HiGhDrA wanted to wait for the sentry, for the hallucination to expire before committing, but that delayed reinforcements, it delayed the all-in. By the time he got across the map, we saw that, again, LetaleX, he had scouted and reacted correctly. He had his battery set up on low ground, he had his robo, his immortal production, he was set up in the main base as well, and the all-in failed completely. And with that, we saw HiGhDrA try to transition into an expansion into the mid game, but after a failed all-in, it was a rocky transition. It's very, very shaky. In the end, GG, well played. In the end, HiGhDrA was outscaled, and LetaleX, he will claim the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played, does claim the series. Whew. And with that, we can catch up on the bracket itself. I believe the bracket has not been updated, but !B in the chat to have a look at the Wikipedia page. Un momento. Okay, from the top here, we have some updates. So Shameless versus UD Soldier, that's a PvP that's going to be ongoing next week. We also have GG Machine. If you remember, Art took down Hormono, GG Machine took down Art, and we have GG Machine waiting for the winner of Shameless and UD Soldier in the upper bracket finals. For those that are maybe tuning in for the first time, this is the OSC Elite Rising Star. This tournament is dedicated for up-and-coming players. This is excluding players that have achieved too high results in other tournaments. So there's no like Clem, there's no Serral or Raynor or Maru or Hero or anything like that. These are for the up-and-comers, or the rising stars, if you will. And in this tournament, I'll say the top 2 seeds are Shameless and GG Machine. And so far, GG Machine, he's in the upper bracket, and he's waiting for Shameless. We'll see if UD Soldier can stop him. When it comes to the lower bracket matches, there's still a lot to cover. there's still a lot of matches to go on. Up next week, we should be featuring Baby Marine versus Rebellion. That's going to be a fun TVP. Likewise, we're going to be seeing Sebestis versus Art. LetaleX just took down HiGhDrA. LetaleX, he's waiting for a loser from the upper bracket. I believe he's waiting for the loser of UD Soldier and Shameless. So it's going to be another PvP there for LetaleX. Meanwhile, Minizerg had a big upset, took down a Milky Cow in his series. And just below that, we have Fiant. So it's going to be Minizerg versus Fiant in a ZVZ. Ooh, it's going to be a spicy Zerg versus Zerg matchup. Again, that's going to be next week. The Rising Star tournaments, every week we do cover like 6 to 7 matches, and typically this does last around 2 months. Around 2 to 3 months is the length of the Rising Star event, just because there are so many matches with the lower bracket coming into play, and every series is casted. When it comes to the other contenders here, outside of Shameless and GG Machine, I'm looking at Jumi. Like, Jumi is another contender. Baby Marine, if he's in form, if Baby Marine is like in form and well practiced, he's also a threat as well, but it depends if he's in form, right? Like Baby Marine, he's also not the most active player, so he's a little bit hit and miss when it comes to his shape. Likewise, LetaleX, he has a lot of potential. Minizerg has a lot of potential. Fiant, he has potential to go far as well, but I would still say I'm mainly looking at GG Machine, I'm looking at Shameless, I'm looking at Jumi, I'm looking at Baby Marine. I would also be looking at Milky Cow, but remember, we had that upset. Milky Cow is already out of the tournament. Otherwise, I would also be looking at him to maybe like threaten the top players. And I also don't want to forget about Art. Art is another big threat as well. If you've been watching online tournaments, Art, he's been a beast. Like, he's been taking it to players like Classic and some other top Protoss players specifically. Art's PvP is insane. Like, he's looking out of this world when it comes to his PvP. Like, taking it to the top Koreans as well, which is surprising. So, Art is also a threat to other Protoss players, like Sebestis, like Jumi, for sure. For sure. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be wrapping up here for the morning, and this evening, bam, as you can see, we have plenty of StarCraft going on this week. Too much, if you will. It's going to be a long day, a long week. So we just wrapped up with our Monday cast, so bam, you can see it all the way on the left, our Monday schedule. We just wrapped up with our OSC cast. This evening, we have a show match between Zaun and Rogue. It's going to be a fun PvZ show match between Zaun and Rogue, hosted by Universe. That is the Universe Cup, also the Universe show match series. We have that later on tonight. That's going to be clashing with the Wardy TV Monday. Bear that in mind. Then on Tuesday, tomorrow morning, we have Kung Fu Cup. Kung Fu Cup tomorrow morning. The Pond cast tomorrow evening. We have Pegasus Cup back-to-back Wednesday and Thursday. The reason why you see 2 Pegasus Cups is because we did miss last week's broadcast. So we have a catch-up stream for last week's event. Then we have GSL. For those who do not know, we do live cast GSL. We live cast GSL, but we do not cast GSL here on Twitch. We cast GSL on Soup! Exclamation mark. Soup in the chat. For those who don't know, Soup is a Freaka TV. Soup is a competing streaming platform, and Soup, they organize GSL. So if you want to live cast GSL, it has to be on Soup. We're not allowed to live cast on Twitch or on YouTube. So if you want to watch GSL live, we do cast it over on Soup with a clean feed. Otherwise, you can see that we have a GSL cast on Saturday and Sunday. That's the rebroadcast of the Soup stream. So we're live with Soup on Wednesday, Thursday. Then the rebroadcast is live on Twitch and YouTube on Saturday and Sunday. It has to be 48 hours later. That is the restriction that we have. So if you can't watch it live, or if you don't want to watch it on Soup, then it's going to be live on Twitch and YouTube a couple of days later. Then we have RSL over the weekend. That's going to be the final day of RSL, by the way. The playoffs are going to be wrapping up. We're going to be crowning our RSL Season 5 champion. That's going to be over the weekend. And then we have Kofa Giants Cup on Friday as well. A lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. It's a pretty intense broadcast schedule, but hey, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, more than Steadfast, more than Wardy. We have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. We have all the casting, all the StarCraft. And we're going to be wrapping up. What I also will say is that I believe this week, Maestros of the Game, the French tournament, is also going to be beginning this week. We would love to cast it, but we have a full schedule. Like we have no room, but I would like to sleep and eat at some point. So I believe Maestros of the Game does begin this week, but we're going to be most likely taking a break from Maestros, or we'll be casting it via replays, one or the other. But there's just no room for us. Like it's an intense schedule. But if you want to watch Maestros of the Game, I believe Rotterdam is going to be casting that. Rotterdam, Wardy, a lot of the European casters, because it's a European focused time zone event. So think Wardy, think Rotterdam, Comeback TV, of course, Indie, all the European casters, they should be covering Maestros on their respective channel. That's going to be on Friday. I think that's over the weekend as well, so you can check that out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tonight in around 7 hours time for the Rogue versus Zound show match. See you then. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much to Rotterdam. Shout out to Rotterdam for giving us a raid earlier, and to Scorpling as well for the raid as well. Thank you so much for the raids. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the subscribers, the resubscribers, and new subscribers as well to the channel. We appreciate it. Again, plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. If you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. Exclamation mark YouTube in the chat. We'll give you a link to our YouTube channel. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm starving, Pappy. I'm starving. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna go get some food, and then I'll try to nap before the show match tonight. That's the plan. That is the plan. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys later on tonight or tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Until then, ciao, Papi, ciao. Hasta luego.